Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video here on the channel. Today, I just wanted to give my brief thoughts on every single San Diego Comic-Con 2024 panel. Even the ones I'm not interested in, I'll just state if I'm interested in them or not. So first, we have the Hasbro panel, which is focused on Transformers, and I'm excited for this one overall. It's going to focus primarily on Transformers 1, which I think desperately needs a panel, as the movie's fucking coming out before the end of this year here, and I feel like the marketing has barely even taken place. Like, I think we've only got the one trailer still, right? So we definitely need more. Next, celebrating 25 years of SpongeBob. I think this is definitely an out-of-place panel. I mean, what are you really going to talk about with SpongeBob, right? I mean, I guess the franchise is still releasing shit. They're just releasing the new Sandy Cheeks movie. Maybe they'll talk about that and how it got leaked early. Percy Jackson and the Olympians. I believe a second season was greenlit for that, right? That's probably what they're talking about. If it's just something that goes over what they already did, I don't see the point in that. As for What We Do in the Shadows, I don't know why they're calling it the Farewell Tour Kickoff. I mean, it says that a new episode will be coming out. So, and I doubt the show is anywhere near close to ending. They would have definitely announced it the upcoming season was the last one. So I don't know why it's called Farewell Tour Kickoff. Personally, I'm not very hyped for Gladiator, so Gladiator panel definitely won't be one that I check out, or at least tune into. It's cool to see Marvel Rivals get a panel, though. I feel like that game has just been absolutely forgotten about since its announcement. Maybe this will actually put it in the zeitgeist. It does say they'll talk about the story as well, which is definitely exciting, as I feel like the story has a lot of potential with all the characters being from everywhere across the multiverse. This might deal more with the multiverse than the fucking MCU multiverse saga. As for the Star Wars panel, no, Star Wars is not going to be having a panel that goes over their movies and TV shows. They never really do at San Diego Comic-Con, but they are doing stuff on the publishing side as usual, but unfortunately it seems as though all they're really going to talk about is stuff relating to the High Republic, as all the authors that are mentioned are High Republic authors. But hey, maybe more people will be interested in the High Republic with the Acolyte coming out. You think maybe it'd be the opposite, but hopefully not. It is cool to see that D. Bradley Baker will be there as well. He's one of the most iconic Star Wars voice actors. Also, it's hosted by fucking Patton Oswalt for some reason, so that'll definitely be interesting. Next up, we have two absolute banger panels, being the Boys panel and the Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles panel. Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is definitely, I think, a series that is going to need something, as we are very quickly approaching August, and we don't have that much marketing for it yet, so I feel like this will really help boost it up. At the same time, though, you probably don't want to reveal too much, since you're that close to release, you might as well just wait. For The Boys, Season 4 will likely be finished by then, and I doubt that they'll want to reveal too much on Season 5 immediately after, right? So I don't know what we'll get. Maybe something on another spinoff? There's also going to be a Lord of the Rings Rings of Power panel. I guarantee you everyone's excited for that, right guys? We all love the Rings of Power. Awesome. I'm honestly more excited for the Conversation with Prime Video's Adult Animation Creators panel than that, even though it wouldn't have any news. I mean, you have Invincible writers there, you have Sausage Party writers there. I mean, you have Has Been Hotel there as well, which, but hey, I'll take what I can get. Speaking of, Has Been Hotel actually has its full-on own panel, which, even though I don't like Has Been Hotel, I do have to admit that that's pretty impressive. Like, for an indie show to get its own panel at SDCC. Of course, there's also the obvious Marvel panel, which for some reason is not listed here. It's probably just because either everyone knows about it already, or maybe Disney-related panels are their own separate thing that's listed, I don't know. But for these last bits of panels here, we have a Star Trek panel. One thing that I am intrigued a little bit by is the Like a Dragon Yakuza panel. I don't believe Like a Dragon has ever had a panel at SDCC before, and it's rare that we get game-related panels too. There's also panels for American Dad, Bob's Burgers, Family Guy, and The Simpsons. I don't think it's usually that common to have that many of our sitcoms all at one event. I mean, Family Guy, they're doing it because of 25 years of Family Guy, which would definitely be cool to go to. I wish I could fucking go to that, but... You think they'll mention that Family Guy movie that Seth MacFarlane was talking about? There's a Futurama panel, which I don't see that much point in, with the show coming out 3 days after the panel. And one last thing with the Yakuza panel that I just found out is that people are going to be walking away with a free souvenir at the end. You think they're going to give away the game early? Walking Dead is also a given. There's multiple Walking Dead panels for each of the spin-offs, as well as the Doctor Who panel. I'm happy for the Doctor Who fans who are getting a panel there. It's been cool to see Doctor Who have a bit of a resurgence. I mean, I've still never checked it out, but I know it's always been a relatively niche franchise, or at least known for being niche, so I hope that it manages to break out of its shell a little more. But yeah, that's basically all my thoughts on all the panels. Obviously, the one that I'm looking the most forward to is the Marvel one, but there's a few that I'll definitely keep tabs on, especially for Kiesel News purposes. There is, however, one last panel that I would like to talk about, which likely wasn't mentioned because it's smaller compared to all of these, but it's the LEGO panel, more specifically the Ninjago Dragons Rising panel. So, there's some very interesting things in the description here that I would like to point out. Now, for one, I don't know if I've ever stated that I'm a Ninjago fan. I'm kind of ashamed to, with it being, a children's show, but you know what? It's fucking good, goddammit. I have my nostalgia with the show. I'm never going to leave it behind. I'll stick with it till it dies. And it seems like it fortunately may never die, as they're going to discuss the upcoming 15th anniversary of the show. And interestingly, the 15th anniversary isn't until 2026. And Ninjago usually has panels at SDCC every year, but they usually only talk about the next season, or the coming year at least. So the fact that we're going to be getting news 2 years in the future is very interesting. And it's further evidence at the fact that the series is going to become even more serialized, like we heard about when Dragons Rising first started. Don't get me wrong, the show has always been serialized. Like, it's not like a show like The Simpsons or Family Guy, for example, where you can tune into one episode and then that's all you need. But each season did kind of have like its own theme. So like one was based around ghosts, one was based around fucking pirates, one was based around cultists, all that shit. But now each season is leading more into each other, which I think is a great thing. And the fact that they're already planning the 15th anniversary and likely way beyond that is very promising. Of course, the current writers, Kevin Burke and Doc Wyatt, are going to be there, and I just have to give them so much props, man. Like, Dragons Rising has been so good. Like, I almost fell off the show in its recent Wild Brain Season 11 to 15 era, because it got a little too childish for me, but Dragons Rising has definitely brought it back to how it was originally, I feel, where it's still definitely aimed for kids, and that's not a bad thing, but it's treating its audience with more intelligence, and that's always been the thing that I liked about the show. The last major interesting bit that we get from this description is the fact that only Aaron and Sora's voice actors are going to be there. Usually, they would have someone like Vincent Tong or one of the original voice actors there as well. But the fact that it's only voice actors of new characters, I think might be telling of where the franchise is heading, as they may slowly start to phase out the original ninja as the years go on. They already have kind of started doing that with Jay, for example, but they are planning an arc for Jay. But overall, I think this would be a great thing if they did phase out the original ninja as time went on, as it would allow the show to live on longer with new blood. Also, can we just talk about the fact that the LEGO show has made it 15 years when the show was originally supposed to end after Season 2 in its second year? I think that's just absolutely phenomenal. And I really hope the 15th anniversary means that we'll be getting something really big, as the 10th anniversary was a really big year, and if they're hyping up the 15th anniversary in this panel description, the 15th anniversary will likely be big as well.